Okay, let's connect to a smart contract in less than 3 minutes. So I'm using Bildr. You can go here, you can start building and go to the studio. Let me show you a quick page I created. Simple hello world smart contract that I have out there where I can set a message or receive a message. So I've used Bildr and mocked up a very simple page with no actions tied to it yet. Now, what I've also done is I've created a plugin at builder.web3devdoc.com that allows you to automatically inject all of the functions needed for your smart contract directly into the Builder Studio. So if you go here, you can get links for both the plugin header and the Web3.js header. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So I'm going to copy these. I'm going to go into and add a new header. So this one is the toolkit. And you have to make sure and activate these on both pages. And then we need Web3 to allow us to connect to that smart contract. Now, once both of these are applied to the page, you're going to need to come in, and I typically like to refresh the page just to make sure everything loads correctly as you need it. And we should see a new button in the lower right-hand corner to get to the toolkit. So if you click this page, it will reload that same page you saw just a second ago inside of the studio so that we can inject some actions. So just to show you where the actions will be, they're over here in the action types. So if I go to action types and go to action types or functions, you can see things that are already inside of it. So I'm going to jump back over and grab some of the code that I've used already. So I have the contract ABI that you can get from your smart contract, or you can get it from OpenSea if it's a validated smart contract. I'm going to paste that in the toolkit and hit generate, and it's going to give me all of the functionality that's in that smart contract. So I have an update message and a the message, which will receive the message back. It will show you the JavaScript and the Builder JSON needed to inject this into the studio. But the easiest way is to inject all actions. So now if I go back to the action types, you can see that I have two new action types, one to receive the message and one to update the message. Inside of these, all of the user inputs and information is automatically generated. So if we want to connect this get message to a specific location, such as maybe this get message button, I can now go to events, create a new action flow for my events, and when I search for the actions, I can find them all tied to the names that I used. So this message, get message, will ask me for the output variables. Anything that is coming back from the response of that smart contract will have output tied to the end. So there's a string coming back. We're going to save this into a variable named the message variable. It's going to ask for the smart contract address and the smart contract network, which you can do mainnet, Ropsten, and a variety of others. So I'm going to do this on the Ropsten network, and the address that I'm going to use, let me grab this from another one, as I have tested this a few times here. So I'm going to input the smart contract address, the network that it's on, and then the variable that I want to save as the message that's coming back. So now if I go and run this page, if I go to preview and run the page that I'm looking at, I will get this page, and I'll refresh it just to show everything. And what we can do is we can click on get message, and you can see that it did trigger something inside of MetaMask, and this actually saves information inside of a browser object so we can see all of the variables. But what we can also do is set that variable to this location on the page. So if I go back and go to the action, we can go in and add in another action to set the value of an element. And we can select which element where we have the message output label. We can change either a text value or something from a variable. And so we can use the variable we just created, the message variable, paste it in there, and we can now go back and rerun the page and test it again and get the current message.